Don't you feel historians were in a rush while naming the 7 wonders of the world? Well, we here certainly feel so. The Grand Canyon and Victoria Falls are undoubtedly significant, and anyone who sees them will be awestruck. But other places in this world are far more remarkable, strange, and seen almost alien, as if they could exist on a planet that could evolve separately from our own. These are places that scientists have struggled with to understand how they could ever have been formed. Today, let's take a tour and see our top 10 natural wonders of the world. Number 10. Devil's Kettle. As far as natural wonders go, the Devil's Kettle in Minnesota is one of the most intriguing. At a particular point along the Brute River, the river's water splits into 2. One course falls into Lake Superior, but the second course keeps us amazed. Nobody has any clue where the other split falls. Scientists have tried putting dyes into the split to see which part of the river turns colored, but in vain. Next, they tried putting ping pong balls in the river, but they also disappeared without a trace. They were clueless about the river water. Laws of science dictate that water has to turn up somewhere, even if it is being stored underground in some reservoir. There has to be some markings or some traces. What do you think? Where does the river end up? Aliens, parallel universe, glitch in our programming, some mind trick? Your guess is as good as ours. Number 9. Hessdalen Lights. Residents of Hessdalen Valley, Norway are continually living in the realm of great scientific wonder. Almost every night, bright lights appear in the sky that dance around, shift shapes, flash unmistakably, and disappear only to appear the next day during the night. This phenomena has been going on for nearly 40 years, leaving scientists perplexed. Since the early 1930s, people have spotted the lights and wondered what could be causing them, but none seems valid. One theory suggests that the lake is radioactive. The radon rides dust particles, and upon elevation it decays and produces light. Another theory suggests that the valley's base is full of sulfuric acid. Sulfur reacts to the water and produces what scientists call sparks. Infinite tests have been performed to locate the exact cause, but to no avail. Number 8. Movile Cave. In southeastern Romania, a cave has an entirely different atmosphere from the rest of the world. It was blocked from the slightest ray of sunlight for a straight 5.5 million years. It was only after some workers accidentally stumbled upon it. They were looking for some stable ground to set up a power plant. The workers cracked up a narrow shaft that opened a pathway leading to one of the strangest places on Earth. While descending the tunnel, the workers were led to eerie chambers full of sulfuric water, sinking rotten eggs. The air there is highly toxic with hydrogen sulfide. The great part is a whole ecosystem in those narrow cracks and water that has survived the sulfur. There are at least 33 known species that scientists have discovered from there that don't exist elsewhere on Earth. Their sole source of nutrition is the foam on top of the stones. Number 7. Lake Karachay. The Soviet Union had many nuclear facilities, and many of them were ill-planned and unsafe. Inside one such factory is a lake whose water has more radioactive material than anywhere else on Earth. Lake Karachay is so radioactive that you will die within an hour if you stand near it. Soviets dumped nuclear waste into the lake. These nuclear practices have caused few problems with the lake in the past. In 1957, an explosion blew the factory apart, and the radioactive particles spread more than 23,000 kilometers apart. The area is more radioactive than Chernobyl. The lake is covered with concrete to keep those disasters from happening. Still, the entire place is massively radioactive and eerily unstable. Number 6. The Doubletree of Casorzo. In the countryside of Piedmont, Italy, there is an unusual sight. A cherry tree looks in most respects just like any other healthy tree, except that it happens to be growing directly on top of a mulberry tree. This isn't wholly unprecedented. Parasitic trees have grown out of others before, but they are small, stunted things that live short lives before falling off. The Doubletree of Casorzo consists of 2 fully formed healthy trees, each spreading its branches 5 meters apart. Nobody knows how that happened. The locals believe a bird may have dropped a seed on top of the mulberry tree. The seed grew roots that pushed through the mulberry tree's hollow trunk and reached the soil below, letting it survive and grow into a full, healthy tree. Number 5. The Sleeping City of Kalachi. The sleeping city of Kalachi, Kazakhstan is not Disney's creation. It is as real as it gets. Citizens have faced an epidemic where they collapse into naps randomly, even while walking on the roads. They also report memory loss, fatigue, and hallucinations. The epidemic affects people of all genders and ages. Kazakhstan has even recommended evacuations, but they are no closer to resolving the problems. One theory suggests that the residents face radioactive poisoning since the area is near a uranium mine. However, there are flaws in this theory as all the blood tests and other monitoring has turned up zero evidence. Secondly, there is a town closer to the mine than Kalachi, and they have not reported any such epidemic. Number 4. Circles of Namibia. There is an ecological wonder sitting through Namibian deserts. There are fields of grass with circles carved in them at regular intervals. The circles are almost perfectly created and range from 10 to 65 feet in diameter. Forget about the circles. Scientists are not even sure of the more basic questions, such as why are these circles and not any random shape? Nothing grows in these circle patches. Scientists have come up with various theories and have been debunked almost immediately. In 2013, an environmentalist said that termites were the cause of the circles. But in 2015, biologists tested the hypothesis and disapproved it. Number 3. The Humm of Taos. A barely audible buzzing sound that you can't locate is enough to you. We have all been there. When a distant lawnmower or our TV starts making a buzz, it feels like our brain is eating itself from the inside unless we don't find where it's coming from. Now imagine the pain and frustration of residents in Taos in New Mexico since the early 1990s. Large numbers of residents of Taos have complained of a constant humming sound. It can be heard all around the town and has driven people nuts for 20 years. Various investigators have tried to locate the hum, but to no success. Some scientists have hypothesized that the town's residents are superheroes that can detect sound that ordinary humans cannot. But doesn't that raise more questions than answers? Number 2. Never-ending lightning storm. In western Venezuela, over the Catatumbo River, there is a storm that never ceases. Starting at 7 p.m. every night, lightning crashes over the water for 10 hours every night, 260 nights each year. Nobody knows for sure why that happens. It was suggested that it had something to do with uranium in the bedrock until recently. However, scientists are starting to doubt it. Today, the leading theory is a complicated one. It posed that the shape of the mountain causes the warm trade winds to collide with cold air from the Andes. This is then fueled by the rapidly evaporating water below and methane from a nearby oil field. Nobody knows why that happens. Everything about it is mysterious. Number 1. The boiling river. Deep in the Amazon lays a river so hot, unlike any other on this earth. Any living creature that steps into it gets boiled alive. When a hapless creature wanders in, the eyes cook first, melting in its skull. Since the animal is in too much pain to keep swimming to safety, water fills its mouth and lungs, cooked from the inside out. The river gets as hot as 91 degrees Celsius. Scientists aren't entirely sure why. Typically, water that gets this hot is fed by a volcano, but this one is 750 kilometers from the nearest one. There is a theory, though. Scientists believe that boiling water from under the earth cracks through fault lines and heat the river water, forming a geothermal system unlike any other on Earth. That is it for today's video. We hope you enjoyed the tour as much as we did. Share your thoughts in the comments below. Please give us a like and subscribe if you haven't done it yet. Thanks for watching, and see you in our next video.